And we're going to share screen. All right, you guys. Presentation mode. Nice. Okay. Wrong way. I wonder if I do this, it'll take me back to the beginning. It will not. You guys are seeing the end right now. One moment. Let's start at the beginning. That's always the place to start at. It's going to take too long to go all the way back. There we go. That one. So let's do this while we're at it. No, that's fine. I'll just clip it out. Okay. Again, we're going again. All right, you guys, if you are here to unlock high ticket sales with PR and media. So I'm going to show you guys how to tap into the power of PR media for high ticket sales. That's what we're going to do today. And I appreciate you guys joining me today. I am going to try to keep this under 45 minutes. So I like to do that because, time is precious and I want to make sure that I cover as much as possible, but don't take up the whole day doing it. So today we're going to go over why high ticket sales are important. So first and foremost, if you guys don't have if you don't have a high ticket program or service offering, I'm going to tell you why you want to get one. And then the role that PR media can play with that and how this all relates together, right? So that's what we're going to talk about. So this works really great for agency owners, coaches, consultants, speakers, authors, entrepreneurs, service-based business owners, founders, business owners. It also works really great for even like larger companies. So larger companies even want to get PR, right? So it doesn't have to just be for the small business owner or the individual solopreneur. This works really great for pretty much anyone that is selling, especially if they're selling online these days. So, which is pretty much everybody, right? So, first and foremost, we're going to talk about why high ticket sales are essential. So, maybe you know this if you already sell high ticket, or maybe you don't, but high ticket sales, they can directly contribute to a higher revenue model, right? So, for those people that are, talking about bringing in multiple six figures all the way up to multiple seven figures and higher, they tend to always have a high ticket in their offerings. Now, it doesn't mean that they don't have low ticket too. They do, or it doesn't mean that you can't make multiple six, multiple seven figures with high ticket. You definitely can. Um, there is just a really great high revenue that comes with high ticket sales. High ticket sales, they do involve more personalization, and they lead to stronger relationships with your clients and customers. They can increase your business efficiency. They can, increase that brand reputation. So if you think about some of the people that do have high ticket and sell high ticket and the testimonials that are given with those high ticket programs and offerings, I can just think of so many amazing consultants and agency owners and coaches out there that have high tickets, and their testimonials for a lower ticket versus their higher ticket are so much different. You can see so much more transformation in that happen within the high ticket than you can the low ticket, or at least just from the testimonial standpoint, right? Um, High ticket can also create more sustainability within your business. So, higher touch, higher ticket, not as many hours. It can be more sustainable too, and um, it can actually give you more time. So that's the other thing. I don't have it here, but one of the other thing with high tickets is that if you have higher ticket programs and services, you have less clients. And if you have less clients, then you tend to have more time to do other things too. So and here's the other thing, a high ticket can make you more competitive within your niche. So if you're in a niche where there's not very many high ticket services and product offerings or programs, then having a high ticket is a differentiator and it can make you much more competitive. If you are in a industry that has a lot of people that have high ticket and you don't have one, or you have a mid-size ticket or a small ticket, then this is a way to compete with other competitors in your niche, right? So who am I? who is this lady that's talking? So if you guys haven't experienced me yet, I'm Danielle Fitzpatrick Clark. I am lovingly nicknamed a digital disruptor. And, after being lovingly nicknamed that by my colleagues, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to claim that. I like that. So this is what I help you do. I help you disrupt your niche with message precisions and positioning. I help you create an iconic brand while pushing out those tire kickers and magnetizing in those, oh my God, where have you been all my life premium clients. So you guys can see why I'm teaching you guys all about high ticket. Because there is some things that happen when you have a high ticket versus a low ticket. And one of those things is that you do tend to not attract in tire kickers, or if you do, then they exit out very, very quickly because there's this thing of like, I don't feel like I can afford your high ticket, and that's what you offer. So this is why I'm talking about this today. So we are a couple different things. So Influence Builder is my company, and we do work with individuals, thought leaders, but we also work with small business owners up to mid-sized business owners, and we have worked with larger brands, as you can see. So Staples, Dell, Liberty Mutual, those are some big brands. LinkedIn's a big brand, Kartra's a big brand, and we've got some smaller SaaS companies and up and coming companies that we've been working with as well. This is for the agency, but I do more than just do the consulting. I'm also a podcaster myself. Got another one coming out here in a few months. And I do love to host my workshops. My parents are teachers, so I love to teach. It's just something that I love to do. And one of the things that we do within Influence Builder is that we do influencer marketing and digital marketing. So that's where the PR comes in. But we help people go viral. So it's not just the PR and stuff. We have a lot of things that we do for our companies and our individuals. And we've got some phenomenal partnerships, and some of our clients have been on these outlets. So, I mean, these are pretty impressive outlets, right? So, I mean, you guys must know Forbes, right? Inc., Huffington Post, USA Today, Fast Company, Bloomberg, the Wall Street Journal, Entrepreneur, Oprah Radio. I mean, there's more, but these ones fit. So, so some of our clients have been seen on these BBC over there in the UK. So all those good things. So but I want you guys to know this. This is the one thing I want you guys to really take from all this. I've placed hundreds of clients on PR and media outlets over the years using my background in copywriting. I was a magazine writer for quite some time, actually, and I'm a phenomenal networker. It's one of the things that I love doing, and I just have a knack for connecting people to the right people and to the right places. So, long story short, I have an intimate knowledge of what hosts want, what editors want, and what media outlets are looking for, and how this translates into selling programs and products online. So, because but here's one thing I really want you guys to understand. The PR and media placements will not do the selling for you. I think it's really important that everyone understands that if you get a PR placement, it doesn't necessarily equate to a high ticket client just coming in the next day, right? That's not really what it's about. And so I want to make sure that I'm really authentic with you guys when it comes to how we're going to unlock high ticket sales utilizing the power of PR media. It is not something that is an immediate, oh, I saw you on CBS and so I want to buy from you. There's more steps. There's always more steps. There's always more steps when it comes to online marketing. But here's what PR and media placement can do for you. They can create credibility and trust. They can create brand visibility and awareness, and they can position you as an industry authority over your competition who hasn't gotten placed and who hasn't been on media outlets or hasn't been doing podcasts or other places of visibility online or even in person, right? Speaking um, is also a really great way to build authority. But here's the thing. Unless you're already like a millionaire or a billionaire, none of this really matters. None of the none of the things that I'm talking about really matters with placements if you are still building a business online. You need to be able to monetize um, PR and media so that you're selling down the road, right? It's all got to work together, and it does work together. So, case in point. right? So I'm going to give you guys a case study first. And yeah, I'm going to jump right into a case study because I love these. So um, I tend to, as a digital marketer, I tend to work with a lot of thought leaders who are also sales coaches. Just we just match each other so well, and I love working with my sales coaches. And so Lauren here, we took a three-pronged approach using PR and media placement within this three-pronged approach. So if you guys haven't discovered yet, I do sell high ticket. I do customize a lot, and you guys are going to see what that looks like within my case studies, actually. Um, and so we use a three-pronged approach after we assessed her marketing and her sales and what's working, what wasn't, and what was missing. So she had two high ticket programs. One was a 6-month retainer that was 25K. She could have 10 clients in that. And so she has, I mean, here's the other thing with high tickets, guys, is that there's usually a max, right? You can usually only take so many on high ticket. Um, she also had a 12-month mastermind. Now the mastermind she actually co-run. So it wasn't just hers, it was with someone else too. And that was also a high ticket. It just had smaller monthly payments. So, but that was a 30K program for 12 months. She could have, because she had someone else helping her, she could have 50 clients, so 25 a piece. They manage 25 a piece. Um, but here's the thing, those are both high tickets, and she needed help in attracting the right high ticket clients. Like she had time, but she just didn't want to waste her time selling to people who weren't ready for that. She wanted high ticket buyers. So this is how she set it. She had her launches set up for 4 times a year, and those launches were either 3-day events, and those are online, or they were intimate in-person events. So she did one in person and then per year, and then she did three-day events. That's how she filled these two main programs of hers. And she was really good, is really good at attracting in those ideal clients. She is. She just needed a boost. She needed a boost because more competitors were coming in, and they were getting more publicity than her, and it made it more difficult for her to stand out. So that was something that was happening. So we did do a three-pronged approach with her marketing. We did PR media placements in the online magazines that her ideal clients knew about, right? So that was one of the things that we did. The other thing is that we aligned her. We brought in aligned podcast placement starting 6 months before her in-person event. So, and her in-person event wasn't at the end of the year, but it was in the end, closer to the end of October, which gave us plenty of sales time till the end of the year to fill. Um, and then we also used lead generation tactics on her three main social media sites where we could show her media placements, both the podcast and the PR media placements. So here's the outcome. She was able to fill up her one-on-one within the first 2 months of placements. So it gave her that much of a boost over her competition. It made her lead generation tactics work that much better. She was able to fill her online event that she had within the time frame of that 6 months. It's always a smaller event. This one had more people, but it was the right people. She ended up with a 50% conversion rate because of the attraction of those ideal clients. So she was able to attract in those high ticket buyers, and her in-person events was twice what it had been the year before. So we used those PR placements amazingly, and we 2x'd her in-person event. And so she easily sold out. Her and her partner there, they easily sold out their year long. And so they had 50 people in their 12-month the following year. So that's the power of using PR. And you guys see that it's not the thing that's selling the high ticket, but it is certainly helping in major ways to increase that visibility and that brand trust. So here's why she was able to do it, guys. She was able to use the PR and the media to sell high ticket because we established brand trust. So brand trust is for high ticket clients, they often associate, regular positive media coverage with brand reliability and trustworthiness. So this enhances their comfort and their confidence in investing large sums of money. So if you guys have invested a lot in a coach before, or a consultant, I know I have several times over. I will say having people who have been placed on PR and media and that are on podcasts that are known, it helps. It helps to write that big check, right? The other thing it does is that there's authority validation. So seeing businesses featured in reputable media outlets or on podcasts also can be reassuring. Um, it's also risk mitigation, right? I don't know if you guys have ever thought of it this way, but high ticket clients tend to be more, I mean, risk averse. It's a lot of money. I know so many stories of people who have paid, 50K, 100K, um, and they just haven't gotten what they needed. And sometimes they're not ready either. So there's a couple different things that go on there. But there is, when it's a high amount of money, you don't necessarily want to take the risk all the time. So PR helps to do, it really helps to help your high ticket buyers feel more assured. There's also a value perception. So high ticket clients generally are seeking significant value and quality for their investment. Regular positive PR reinforces the perceived value and quality of your offerings. So it really does do that perception shift for you. And social proof, especially if you're selling online, guys, you need that social proof. High ticket clients really want to rely on social proof when making their decisions. So media placements can do that. Featuring testimonials within those media placements can do that. Success stories. They can all provide that social proof that is needed during the decision making process. So the other thing is that high ticket isn't necessarily something that people will buy immediately, especially not now. Nowadays, people take a little more time. They're a little more discerning. So this makes PR and media really important when you're selling high ticket, and that decision takes a little bit longer than it did even a couple of years ago. So that is some of the things that it will do. And what are some real world examples of this, right? So, I mean, I can tell you guys about the coaching space, the consulting space, and I will go into the brands as well. But what are some real world examples of this happening with a high ticket product, right? So, Tesla. Tesla is a great example of value perception. And then, of course, of buying high ticket because it's very expensive. And there's a lot of brand trust in Tesla, although I do see that they're getting some negative PR these days. So they may need to, turn that around. Apple's another one. Man, I mean, everybody has an iPhone, right? And so they have brand trust, they have the authority, they have value perception, and of course, they have social proof. Rolodex is another one. In fact, I had a client and he talked about getting a Rolodex, like from the very beginning of working with them. That's what he's like, I'm going to get one for me and I'm going to get one for my cousin. And I was like, oh, that's great. And I asked why a Rolodex? And it was because it's the it is the watch of all watches. It is so amazing. And he kept going on and on and on about it. But you could see that it was the value perception of a Rolodex. Like, and I said, okay, so how does it make you feel? And that's usually where I go. I'm like, okay, I want to understand why a Rolodex. And it made him feel important and it made him feel good about the work that he was doing because he could afford it. I mean, it really was that simple. So Microsoft is another great example. Um, and then we have Louis Vuitton, that luxury fashion brand. They use PR media to enforce their image all the time, right? Like in celebrity endorsements, high profile fashion shows. That plays a big role in the perceived value of Louis Vuitton. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys, some of the ladies here may have watched Sex and the City, but they talked about Louis Vuitton all the time. That was the thing. That it was the brand. And another one is Oracle. So that's an enterprise software and cloud solution that, it's high ticket when you bring it into enterprise, right? And so the PR media strategy has been right on the money with this, and it showcases all of their technology advancements and the leadership in their business and so they have the thought leadership piece going too. And it does build that credibility for those high ticket corporate clients. So it's not just the luxury items. We also have a lot going on with software as well and automotive. So here are some other things to consider. There is a unique expectation with high ticket buyers. So, one of them was premium quality. We'll just use my client that he had to have he did get a Rolodex. He was making a lot of money after even just a few months with us working together. But the reason why he wanted the Rolodex too was it's a premium quality. That's the expectation, is that they expect a product or service they're purchasing to be of the highest quality. Um, they want superior materials used, expert craftsmanship, cutting edge technology. That's what they're looking for. And can you imagine getting that Rolodex and spending thousands of dollars on it and then to have it not work? I don't know if this guy had a short fuse or not, this client, but I mean, I'd say that if it was to come out, it would be coming out if he bought that Rolodex and it didn't work, right? So, and it wasn't the quality. There's like something plastic on it. No way, no way. So that's the other thing. So this is the expectation that buyers have. They also want exceptional customer service. You have to expect that. It's personalized assistance and it's fast and effective. It can be, resolutions can be done very quickly. High ticket buyers expect top tier customer service. They also want exclusivity. So that's the other thing. They want to know that that this isn't available for everybody. And that's another reason for high ticket, is because not everybody can afford it. Yes, that's true. You also have exceptional customer service. You have premium quality that not everybody has. But they want to know that not every it's not readily available. And that's one of the things that Tesla does really well, right? Because Tesla, you have to order your vehicle. It's not just there on the lot. That's another reason why they became so popular so quickly. That exclusivity, customization is huge, right? So anyone in the coaching and consulting business knows that high ticket equals customization. This is why I do so much customization. So these buyers, they expect it. They expect the ability to personalize or customize their purchase to their specific tastes or needs. So it's great if you have like a whole plethora of offerings, and you can assist them and like, here's where I think you need this and this and this and this, and you can customize a program for them. And that's actually solving a bigger problem. So when it's supposed to be the same for everybody else, it doesn't have that exclusivity because pretty much anybody can buy it. It doesn't have that customization, so it should therefore be a lower ticket. So longevity and guarantees are also an expectation. They expect to have that purchased if it's a product lasting a long time with some warranties and some guarantees. So if you're doing coaching consulting, if you're an agency, then you've got to have some kind of guarantees that, some kind of placement of this is what you guys are going to get. And this is when it's going to be delivered by. And products are a little bit different, but you guys get the idea. Um, the high ticket buyers also want to see the value in the status or the prestige associated with owning a product or service from a reputable brand or agency or coach consultant. They want to know that I'm working with that person. Look, that's my coach. That's my consultant. That's my agency. They're known. And then high value proposition. Above all, the high ticket buyer needs to see a perceived high value for their investment. They want to feel that the benefits and features of that product or that service justifies the higher price. There is this saying, higher ticket means that you're solving, well, I'm not sure what I just did there, means that you are solving a bigger problem. Okay, that was fun. I must have hit a button without knowing. One second, guys. There we go. Oh, fun. All right. So here's what to consider when you're creating these high ticket programs. As far as I want to talk about the value proposition. So just telling you guys that with higher ticket means that you're solving bigger problems. You have a bigger solution. So if you guys have a high ticket, or if you're considering creating one, if you're considering increasing the price point of your offerings, here are some things to consider. You want to have a clear differentiation. The product, the program, they must have something unique and or superior that sets them apart from the alternatives in the market. So you have to differentiate yourself from your competitors. And this could be something that you're offering better quality, could be advanced features, could be exclusive access, it could be personalization and customization. It could be that you have a solution that nobody else has and you have an ROI to prove it, which goes into the next one. You have to establish an ROI. You have to be able to demonstrate it. It's got to be something that makes sense, especially if you're doing B2B. So business to business sales, educational programs, the product and the program should be able to demonstrate a high return on investment, either in terms of increased revenues, cost savings, improved productivity, and career advancement. So I don't want you guys to think that this has to just be the ROI has to be money. Sometimes Sometimes your demonstrated ROI is that you're saving them money. And it all depends on what solution that they need. It could be that you're saving them time, right? So saving people time is also a way of saving money. It could be saving them stress, all these things. So it doesn't necessarily, an ROI doesn't have to be a return on the money spent. It doesn't always have to be that. It could be other things. It just depends on the ideal client and who you're focusing on because not everybody is like, I want to make, well, don't get me wrong, a lot of people want to make more money, but not everybody is looking for that. Some people are looking for um, cost savings, time savings. They're looking for some kind of massive improvement in their life. And we just got to be able to demonstrate that, right? That this is going to be that. So for those of you that have you have more of a human skill set, or your high ticket is helping with more of the humanness in us, don't worry. Like I know whenever I work with people who have more of an intangible, meaning that it's a little bit harder to assess with metrics, that's okay because what you really want to focus on is the skill sets learned, the skill sets used. You can also focus on um, saving certain parts of somebody's life. Like, so I use a couple different things with people who have more of an intangible, just like, are you fast tracking people in their life, their business, and any other areas, their health that they can't put a price point on, meaning it's priceless. There's a place to focus, right? So all of that can work, and it doesn't have to be just a number. It doesn't have to be um, it doesn't have to be quantitative only. It can be qualitative. Okay, so high perceived value, the product or program should deliver benefits and results that are highly valuable to the buyer. So high perceived value goes with the ROI. You guys can see why that's added in. Um, doesn't have to be a tangible. It can also be intangible, meaning transformative equals transformative. So always consider that with your high ticket. Um, excellent customer service. If you're doing high ticket, you want premium support. Doesn't have to be done by you. No, you can have team that help that does that too. Personalized attention. hmm Here's the thing is that if someone's buying a high ticket program for me, they don't want to get one of my coaches or other people in my leadership. They want me. If they're spending money for me, they want me. And so that's something else to consider. They also want it to be responsive. So, if you have a high ticket program or product and somebody has a question, unless you've already said that I'm going to be away on vacation, so and so is going to help you, and they do expect like and within reason weekends. Most people take weekends off, but being responsive, like don't make them wait 7 days if they ask you a question that they needed answer within 24 hours, right? The reputable brand. The reputation of the brand behind the product or program can add to that perceived value. So, one of the things that high ticket buyers will always say is that I've worked with so and so and so and so and so and so. Tony Robbins is usually somewhere in that mix. So there is a reputable brand that they like to say that they're working with. It's exciting, right? It also proves when they're talking about that program or product that it's associated with trustworthy reliability and respect. So, and of course, social proof. You want to have high ticket buyers often look for evidence that others have found value in the product or program. So, within reason. So, testimonials are really great, case studies, and third party endorsements. So, the next steps are we talked about high ticket, right? So, how does that relate to the PR and the media? So, this is how PR and media can turn brands from invisible to visible. Well, the first thing is that it can broaden the reach. So, when it comes to what we can do online, the traditional digital media outlets, they do have wide and diverse audiences, especially if you're using like Facebook advertising or YouTube or Google advertising. However, when it comes to PR and media placements and podcast placements, you're actually getting in front of a different audience, potentially, right? So not everybody listens to podcasts. Not everybody is on Facebook all the time and is going to see those Facebook ads. So you're getting in front of an even broader audience. So it works really well alongside some of your other digital media marketing efforts. So brand awareness, and you guys have heard me say this a lot. Brand awareness, it is a big deal. So consistent PR media placements help to keep a brand top of mind. They really do. Top of mind is really important in the online space, especially now. So the more that people see you, the more that they see your brand and associate it with media outlets, this is how people become a household name, right? So brand awareness is that constant in your face, top of mind appearance. PR media can do that, especially when you use it with advertising. You guys can see that theme going, right? It's also a credibility boost. Media outlets are often viewed as a reliable source of information. Now we do have people are saying, yeah, but not so much lately, and I'm like, yeah, that's true. That's true. Um, there's definitely some changes that are going on in the media. I'm seeing so much of it in PR. It's really incredible though. I don't see it as a negative. Um, there's a lot of positives too that can happen. So, but credibility is part of what media placements can do. The other thing is that you can do a lot of storytelling with the right PR. It can allow, if you're a brand, an agency, it can allow you to tell your story to a broader audience, which is really nice because in most of the advertising done, social media, like Facebook, Google again, brands are focusing and agencies are focusing on what their ideal client needs to see from them in order to enroll. With PR and media placements, there's room to tell the brand story, unlike anywhere else. So that's another really key feature. So if you're more than just a brand, a coach, a consultant, an agency that sells a program, if you're doing more than that in the world, PR and media placements gives you a chance to talk about it and to get it out there, which funny enough increases that trustworthiness. And so it's just a really great place to do that. You can also do you can also get expert endorsements, right? So being quoted, being featured as an industry expert in media outlets, it's such a boost for your visibility, and it does a great job in positioning you. And maybe you guys know this, maybe you don't, but the SEO benefits are amazing with PR media. They're so amazing, and it's something that's not just one and done. Because typically with PR media placements, it's up. It's up for a while, and so it kind of has that evergreen effect in sending people to your social media platforms, to your website, and that can only grow, especially if you are doing what I highly suggest you do and that you have tracking. So Google, Google Analytics, Facebook Pixels, and then you can take it that next level with your advertising. But SEO benefits are another great positive for all of this. Okay, so how does it improve overall brand image, right? So it can give you positive media coverage, and that can definitely portray your brand favorably and associate you with success, reliability, and positivity. So before, remember how I was saying that it's really great for storytelling. The storytelling can give it can give a more positive spin on your brand. It almost humanizes the brand when you use the storytelling piece. This it can also help your image by being it shows you as transparent. There's a trust that happens there. It's transparent where it can help you communicate more about your actions as a brand, your values, and your commitments. So it just opens up that communication chain with the public and builds trust. This is my favorite one, of course, because big on influence, thought leadership. PR can position a brand or the leaders within a brand or the thought leaders within a brand. They can position them really well, and they can also share their insights and their expert knowledge through media outlets. So if you guys have seen any brands out there or agencies out there where they're talking about what it is that they can do for you, but you're also seeing that people are starting to make the transition. Even the head of the brands are starting to see the power in thought leadership. PR can help them get out there faster. It can help them get out there more. It can help them really start to understand not just their company or their brand's voice, but their own voice and how that interconnects with their brand. So it's really powerful for thought leadership. And it's a great way to put your success stories out there and your customers' testimonials. It can amplify those. And then it also will bring consistency. So consistency in the messaging of your brand across not just your PR activities, but any of the other things that you're doing on social media and even advertising. So it just really solidifies that brand consistency for the image. So case study number 2. So I'm going to switch over from my individuals and go into one of the brands. So we have a hair care brand that we work with and we help them increase their visibility massively. But we took a two-pronged approach with these guys. So they had a couple different avenues of revenue. One was a high ticket, but it was different because they're product based, right? But their high ticket was selling to salons their hair care product in bulk. So that ended up being like a really big high ticket. And that was their main focus is that they wanted to sell more of the bulk. And they also, of course, they wanted to sell more individuals. They wanted to send more people to their websites to buy because they could just buy from the website if they wanted to. So our two-pronged approach was PR and media, right? And then also influencer marketing and brand ambassadorship campaigns. So that's what we used. So we needed to improve their marketing campaigns so that they had more salon owners coming to them rather than the approach that they had been. This is the only approach that they were using in marketing actually was sending, and it was really expensive. It was sending a box of samples to salon owners who weren't necessarily expecting it. They were just sending it and hoping to get some action, some interest by just sending them a box of samples. So we really needed to improve their marketing because that was such a drain on their marketing budget and it wasn't returning. It didn't have an ROI at all. So that's scary when that happens. I think they were losing money actually. We also needed to entice individual hairstylists to become the early adopters of the brand products and join the ambassador program to provide a bottom-up approach. So what I strategized for these guys specifically is like, okay, we need a better approach from the top down, meaning your salon owners, top down. That's your big high ticket. But we also need to do a bottom-up approach where we're not necessarily only targeting your salon owners because they're busy. People send them these boxes full of samples all the time. Sometimes it's better to send it to the individual stylist or get in front of the individual stylist. You got to make it a win for them though. And then they can go and tell the salon owner, you guys need to check this out, right? So we took two approaches, a two-pronged approach. It worked. It worked amazing. They doubled their profits in 6 months after the initial media coverage that they got from PR. So PR actually helped them get in front of those salon owners and be known and they could use it. So they still did that expensive approach, right? But we were able to use media coverage and icons and as seen-ons that was more interesting to the salon. Oh, even if they hadn't seen it in the media yet, having like a little slip of paper in there that said, we are in these establishments, we've been on these media, as seen on these media, that actually supported um, that initiative, that expensive initiative, and they were able to actually get salon owners to call them up and say, "Hey, this looks really great. I love the samples. I tried them out. Let me go ahead and, buy in bulk." So they were able to do that. They were also able to get the salon owners to come to them, right? Because they were seen in the media and they did really smart placements so that salon owners would see it. Um, so that and then of course we all know that the ambassador program, the stylists are making money and selling the product individually, getting the products too to try on people. So they were selling it, and so that was increasing the traffic to the website buying the individual sales. So that was those three different things was happening for them. And so they continued, like I said, they continue on with some of the older marketing tactics, but it still worked. And then um, the brand, that's the other thing is that the brand ambassadors, they ended up helping with the salon owners coming in and buying bulk too. So a little bit long, but you guys can see how this can work, not just for solopreneurs, but for brands too. So now that I told you guys a little bit about this, you guys can see how this is supporting your high ticket, right? It's really a support. So we're going to go into it just a little bit more. That case study was meant to help though. So discover, it can help you discover media placements with your ideal audience. That's the other thing. You can get discovered on media placements, especially if you have one of those um, one of those interesting products and programs, right? And that isn't necessarily something you can advertise on Facebook. So you guys also want to look for alternatives. You don't want just media, you want podcasts as well. You want to build out your social media platforms. Use your marketing assets to promote that high ticket like the other guys did. Use those logos and placements to win for wins on websites. Add it to your advertising strategy. And I'm just checking the time here. Okay, we're a little over where I wanted to be. So I think I'm going to speed this up for you guys. Okay, all right, so case study number 3, speakers, right? Oh my gosh, this worked so well. So 2 speakers. I mean, I have more too, but we're just getting started on some of these approaches, but I'll use my main 2 that had the best results. So one of them just she used PR. She used PR. She got placed on CNBC, Style, Wall Street Journal, Yelp, Forbes, many, many more. Those are just a few of them. So what this ended up doing for her speaking career, wow, she got awards. She got a spot on a reality TV show. Yeah, she did. She wrote books. She sold more books. She had high ticket clients coming to her because she used the PR to get on bigger and better stages. So the PR and being placed in the media was something that helped her get on and get paid from bigger stages like BMW, LinkedIn. There's so many more. I can't even go there. But what happened was is that people saw her, her audience members saw her. They went to her website, saw her media placements. She talked about her media placements on stage, and they came to her saying, "How do I work with you? No, I don't want this program. I want to work with you." And so she could command a high ticket easily. So she is booked solid, making multiple 7 figures. So that's the and multiple streams of income too. So that's one of them. And so the other one is consultant. So he came in, he didn't want a ton of PR, but he wanted some. And what we did was we used a little bit of PR so he could get on podcasts because he actually had been placed on podcasts. So that helped him get on podcasts, which actually helped solidify his new consultancy, right? And so he ended up getting people coming to him. And also, he got on stages within his specific industry, which is government contract. So that helped him out so much. And it didn't have to be a ton. So here are your next step, guys. I want you guys to evaluate your programs and products, right? So you guys have an idea now of what that high ticket means. So you need to evaluate, do you fit all of those, right? You guys want to also have a website with at least 3 social media platforms. So to be able to utilize PR media placements, you've got to have a website and you got to have some of your social media up and going. Have testimonials and ROI examples. Like I said, with the ROI, it doesn't have to be a tangible, it can be an intangible. Just has to get really creative with those examples too. And you can coach your people as well. I have a lot of people when I ask for testimonials, like, I got so many results. Which ones do you want me to focus on? And so we would focus on the ones in the area that I would be sending people to. So have those. Also, research media outlets and podcasts because you really want to go on the ones where your ideal clients will be reading, will be looking, will recognize. And those podcasts, you really want them to be going out to the ideal client. You want the listening audience to be your ideal client. Even better if they're hard to reach ones. So you also want to work on establishing your big differentiator. So we talked about that. When it comes to your high ticket, you have to have a differentiator than anyone else in your niche. So you want to work on that. You want to create an incredible pitch. To get placements, you have to have a good pitch and start pitching yourself. So work on those things and start pitching yourself and get those talking points to align with these media outlets and podcasts. Don't worry, I'm going to give you a shortcut. Some of you guys may already have this. Where do you look for these PR media? I'm going to keep it really simple. Go to HARO, which is Help a Reporter Out. There are so many requests, so every day. I mean, I get 3 emails a day from these guys, morning, midday, and evening, and they have different placements every single day. And sometimes people are in, they really like reporters really or journalists really need to fill a spot, and so they'll pitch it and they'll select somebody that day. So go there and you can sign up. You can sign up for emails to have those requests sent to you 3 times a day, and it's free. By the way, it's free. So helpareporterout.com. Now for podcasts, you're gonna have to do a little more research, but this is your shortcuts. Check out Apple Podcast and look within categories that where your ideal clients would be listening, right? Your listening audience needs to be your ideal client. So Apple Podcast, Spotify. You guys can also check out social media, especially Facebook. There are podcast guest groups. Yeah, search them up, podcast guest groups or guest placements on podcast. Search it, get into those groups because people are looking for them all the time. You can also look at podcast directories. Just Google podcast directories, podcast networks. So those are your shortcuts. Okay. All right. But what you really want, guys, and I get this, you want to be seen, you want to be heard, you want to be appreciated, you want to sell more high ticket. Yes, you definitely want to sell more high ticket and you want to get on more stages. Some of you guys want to get on more stages and get paid for them. That's the other thing I hear all the time. It's like, I want to get paid to be on these stages. I'm like, yep, I hear you. We got to get you some PR placements though, and we have to show that you are someone who gets paid to be on stages. It is a big differentiator for that. And you guys really want to take a shortcut, right? You guys want the shortcuts. Everyone wants the shortcuts. So it's possible you guys can get really seen, you can be really heard, and you can be really appreciated. And I'm going to point you guys in the right direction. So if you are like, I don't even know where to start, I got you. I understand. And I can help you get to your next step. But you guys can do, like, just with what I gave you guys today, you can absolutely do all of this yourself. Like, you can make some magic happen. You can get media placements. You can develop your brand. You can even sell more high ticket eventually when you put these media placements and PR placements out there, right? It can even help you sell more high ticket. You guys can do all of this yourself. You really can. I know you can. Or you guys can jump on a call and I can assess where you are at. So here's the other thing, like this is not a sales pitch. I'm going to assess. I'm going to be honest. So if you guys are really, really sensitive, I apologize for my bluntness ahead of time because I am really, really I'm just very much, we've got 15 minutes. I'm not going to lie to you. This is what you need. So you guys can jump on 15 minutes with me. So if you don't want to scan this with your phone, you guys can go ahead and just use this Bitly account, right? It's just a PR readiness call. I'm just going to help you guys see where you need to go. And I may even give you guys a couple of different avenues for getting PR placements based on what you have going on. But it's so interesting because I can't tell everybody where to go. I need to assess. I need to have a pretty good understanding of where you are at now. Because if we're talking about you selling high ticket, well, awesome. What kind of program do you have? What's the differentiator? Stuff like that. And It's always forward movement, guys. Always forward movement. So you guys can go ahead and grab a 15-minute. It's just a discovery call to see where you are. Like I said, I apologize ahead of time for my bluntness because I'm very blunt and very much, this is just where you are. This is where, if you want to be here, you need to do A, B, and C steps. Okay. All right. So for those of you that are watching the replay or catching up on the replay, you just need to click the button below if you want to grab that time on my calendar. It will be me. It will be me. So I will spend 15 minutes with you and I will tell you the next steps. Okay. For those of you that are here live, let me just grab the link and I'll put it in the comments. Okay. Maybe. There we go. And we have 4 minutes, so I can probably take a couple questions. Hold on. Let me see. I'm just going to go ahead and stop the recording.